Hello everyone. Welcome to all of you in FFB Live Chemistry class. आज से हम जो नया वीडियो अपलोड कर रहे हैं वो तुम्हारे नए चैप्टर को लेकर के है। आज से नया चैप्टर स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं थर्मोडायनेमिक्स। थर्मोडायनेमिक्स के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत तुम लोगों ने या ज़्यादा ही कह सकते हैं फिजिक्स में पढ़ा होगा। तो मेन टॉपिक हमारे केमिस्ट्री का तो नहीं है, लेकिन बहुत सी चीज़ें इससे रिलेटेड होती हैं। तो थर्मोडायनेमिक्स, फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स, उसके बाद हम थर्मोकेमिस्ट्री इस पे डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे। तो आज का जो चैप्टर स्टार्ट हो रहा है आज की क्लास में, पॉइंट टू बी एक्सप्लेन बाय मी, वो होगा थर्मोडायनेमिक्स, बेसिक प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स, फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड लॉ, ये सारी चीज़ें बारी बारी से हम डिफरेंट वीडियोस में डिस्कस करेंगे। आज हम थर्मोडायनेमिक्स जो कि स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, नेम ऑफ द चैप्टर थर्मोडायनेमिक्स एंड टॉपिक्स of the thermodynamics in your syllabus is thermodynamic terms. This is most important point, क्योंकि थर्मोडायनेमिक्स समझने से पहले पहले उसमें जो टर्म्स यूज होते हैं पहले उनके बारे में मालूम होना चाहिए। तो आज का क्लास मोस्टली इसी पे होगा, थर्मोडायनेमिक टर्म्स पे। उसके अलावा एप्लीकेशंस पढ़ना है, मेजरमेंट ऑफ डेल्टा यू एंड डेल्टा एच एंड कैलोरीमेट्री, enthalpy change, that is delta H of a reaction, and reaction enthalpy. Enthalpies for different types of reaction, spontaneity and Gibbs energy change and equilibrium, ये सारी चीज़ें इसमें हमें बारी बारी से डिस्कस करनी है। तो आज का जो क्लास है वो है थर्मोडायनेमिक्स के इंट्रोडक्शन के बारे में, जो टर्म्स यूज होते हैं, और थोड़ा बहुत टर्म्स पे डिस्कस के बाद हम थर्मोडायनेमिक्स के बारे में और भी डिस्कस कर सकते हैं। नाउ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स इज ए ग्रीक वर्ड, इट्स इंटरनल मीनिंग इज मेंशन। बड़ा हो जाता है ज़्यादा। थर्मोडायनेमिक्स इज ए ग्रीक वर्ड, इट्स लिटरल मीनिंग इज मोशन और फ्लो ऑफ हीट. However, the term is used in more general way. Thermodynamics is the branch of science which deals with all changes in energy or transfer of energy that accompany physical and chemical process. It is concerned with interconversion of various forms of energy. Now, chemical thermodynamics is the branch of thermodynamics which deal with the study of process in which chemical energy is involved. Now, chemical thermodynamics is concerned with the following question. When two or more substances are put together, will they react? If they do react, what energy change will be associated with the reaction? If a reaction occurs, at what concentration of the reactant and their products will equilibrium be established? Now, thermodynamics is not concerned with the total energy of the body, but only with energy change taking place during the transformation. The study of thermodynamics is based on three generalizations derived from experimental results. These generalizations are known as first, second, and third law of thermodynamics, based on human experience, and there is no formal proof for them. Scientists are of view that nothing contrary to these laws will never occur. Now, limitations of thermodynamics. The laws of thermodynamics apply only to the matter in bulk, that is microscopic system, and not to individual atoms or molecule of the macroscopic system. Thermodynamics does not deal with internal structure of atoms and molecules. Thermodynamics can only predict the feasibility or spontaneity of the process under a given set of conditions, but does not tell anything about rate at which the given process may be proceed. It is only concerned with initial and final state of the system. For example, thermodynamics. Thermodynamics predicts that the reaction between oxygen and hydrogen is possible under ordinary conditions, but does not tell whether the reaction is fast or slow. Now, terms used in thermodynamics. Before we study the laws of thermodynamics, it is necessary to define some of the basic terms which are frequently used in its discussion. The first is system, surrounding, and boundary. A system is defined as a specified part of the universe or a specified portion of the matter which is under experimental investigation, and the rest of the universe, that is all other matter which can interact with the system, is surrounding. Anything which separates system and surrounding is called boundary. The boundary may be real or imaginary. It may be rigid or non-rigid. It may be a conductor or non-conductor of heat. The term dithermic wall and diadiabatic wall are used for conductors and non-conductors of heat boundaries respectively. For example, a reaction is carried out in a beaker. The content of the beaker constitute the system. Beakers serve as boundary, and the air, and anything else in the vicinity constitute the surrounding. Now, types of system. There are three types of system. First, isolated system. This type of system has no interaction with its surrounding. The boundary is sealed and insulated. Neither matter nor energy can be exchanged with surrounding. A substance contained in an ideal thermos flask is an example of an isolated system. Second is a closed system. This type of system can exchange energy in the form of heat, work, or radiations, but not matter with its surrounding. The boundary between system and surrounding is sealed but no insulated. For example, liquid in contact with vapor in a sealed tube forms a closed system. Heat can be transferred through the wall of the tube to the surrounding, but the total amount of matter remains the same as the vapors cannot escape. Now, third is open system. This type of system can exchange matter as well as energy with surrounding. The boundary is not sealed and not insulated. Sodium reacting with water in an open beaker is an example of open system, as hydrogen escapes and heat of the reaction is transferred to the surrounding. Now, on the basis of composition, there are two types of system. First, homogeneous system, and second, heterogeneous system. Homogeneous system is said to be homogeneous when it is completely uniform throughout. A homogeneous system is made of one phase only. Examples are a pure single solid, liquid or gas, mixture of gases, or a true solution. Second is a heterogeneous system. A system said to be heterogeneous when it is not uniform throughout. That is, it consists two or more phases. For example, ice in contact with water, two or more immiscible liquids, insoluble solid in contact with a liquid in contact with water. These are the examples of heterogeneous system. Now, third point is thermodynamic properties. These are two types. There are two types of thermodynamic properties. First, intensive, and second, extensive properties. Intensive properties, the properties which do not depend upon the quantity of matter present in the system or size of the system, are called intensive properties. Pressure, temperature, density, specific heat, surface tension, refractive index, viscosity, melting points, boiling points, volume per mole, concentration, etc. are the example of intensive properties of the system. Now, second is extensive properties. The properties whose magnitude depend upon the quantity of matter present in the system are called extensive properties. Total mass, volume, total energy, enthalpy, entropy, etc. are well-known examples of extensive properties. These properties are additive in nature. Now, state of system. When the fundamental properties such as pressure, temperature, volume, number of moles, composition have definite value, the system is said to be in a definite state. When there is any change in any one of these properties, it is said that system has undergone a change of state. Now, state variables. The fundamental properties which determine the state of a system are referred to state variables or state functions or thermodynamics parameters. The change in the state property depend only upon the initial and final state of the system, but is independent of the manner in which the change has been brought about. In other words, the state properties do not depend upon the path followed by system. जैसे P1 की जो फाइनल स्टेट पे P है वो किस तरह से B तक पहुंच रहा है इस पे डिपेंड नहीं करता, बल्कि इनिशियल स्टेट है और ये फाइनल स्टेट, इस पे ये डिपेंड करता है. Now consider a system at state A with different value of pressure and value P1, V1. Let the system be changed to state B with pressure and volume P2, V2. In this case, change in pressure delta P is equal to delta P2 minus P1, and change in volume is delta V is equal to V2 minus V1 are independent of the path. Hence, pressure and volume are state functions. Following are the state variables that are commonly used to describe the state of the thermodynamic system. प्रेशर जिसको हम P से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, कैपिटल V, वॉल्यूम कैपिटल V, इंथैल्पी H, फ्री एनर्जी G, टेम्परेचर T, इंटरनल एनर्जी U से, इंट्रोपी S से और नंबर ऑफ मोल स्मॉल n से. Normally, specifying the values of only a few state variable is necessary for fixing or defining a state of the system. In case of a single glass, composition is not one of the variables because it remains always 100%. If the gas is ideal, its thermodynamic state can be completely defined by specifying only pressure and temperature, as the other variables such as volume, density, etc. can be easily calculated. Now, thermodynamic equilibrium. A system in which the fundamental properties do not undergo any change with time is said to be in thermodynamic equilibrium. There are three different conditions which are to be fulfilled for the attainment of complete equilibrium. These are thermal equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium, and chemical equilibrium. Thermal equilibrium, a system is said to be in thermal equilibrium if the temperature is same throughout the whole system, including surrounding. That is, there is no flow of heat in any part of the system, including surrounding. Mechanical equilibrium is said to be mechanical equilibrium if no mechanical work is done between different parts of the system or between the system and the surrounding. This is possible if the pressure remains the same throughout in part of the system, including surrounding. A system is said to be chemical equilibrium if the composition of the system remains fixed and definite. Now, thermodynamic equilibrium is said to be it if it satisfied all the above three equilibria. When a system in thermodynamic equilibrium, its properties have definite value. Now, thermodynamic processes. When the thermodynamic system changes from one state to another, the operation is called a process. The various types of process are here discussed here. First, isothermal process. Second, adiabatic process. Isothermal process, the process is termed isothermal if temperature remain fixed. That is, operation is done at constant temperature. This can be achieved by placing the system in constant temperature bath, thermostat. For an isothermal process, dT is equal to 0. That is, heat is exchanged with the surrounding and the system is not thermally isolated. Second type of system is adiabatic process. If a process is carried out under such condition that no exchange of heat takes place between the system and surrounding, the process is termed adiabatic. The system is thermally isolated, that is dQ is equal to 0. This can be done by keeping the system in an insulated container, that is thermos flask. In adiabatic process, the temperature of the system varies. Now, third type of system is isobaric process and fourth is isochoric process. The process is known as isobaric, in which the pressure remains constant throughout the chain. That is dP is equal to 0. Isochoric process, the process is termed as isochoric, in which the volume remains constant throughout the chain. That is dV is equal to 0. And now, another fifth type of process is cyclic process. When a system undergoes a number of different processes and finally return to its initial state, it is termed cyclic process. For cyclic process, du is equal to 0 and dh is equal to also 0. Now, reversible process, a process which occurs infinitesimally slowly, that is infinite टाइम के लिए होता है लेकिन स्लो होता है. That is, opposing force is infinite, smaller than driving force, and when infinitely increasing in the opposing force can reverse the process. It is said to be reversible process. In fact, irreversible process is considered to proceed from initial state to final state through an infinite series of small stages, and every stage is virtually in a state of equilibrium. A reversible process is an ideal process and cannot be realized in practice. Now, irreversible process, when the process goes from initial to final state in single step, infinite time and cannot be reversed. See it again, when the process goes from initial to final state in single step, infinite time and cannot be reversed, it is termed as irreversible process. Yep. In such case, equilibrium state exists only at initial and final state of the process. An irreversible process is spontaneous in nature. It is real and can be performed in practice. All natural processes are irreversible in nature. And see again, reversible process is considered to proceed from initial state to final state through an infinite series of small stages, and every stage is virtually in a state of equilibrium. This is not, this cannot be realized in practice. It is an ideal process. Now, difference between reversible and irreversible process. Reversible process, it is an ideal process and takes infinite time. Irreversible process is spontaneous process and takes infinite time. Reversible process, driving force is infinite, greater than the opposing force. But in irreversible process, the driving force is much greater than the opposing force. Reversible process in equilibrium at all state, but irreversible process, equilibrium exists in the initial and final state only. In reversible process, work obtained is maximum, but in irreversible process, work obtained is not maximum. Irreversible process, it is difficult to realize in practice, but it can be performed in the practice. Now, nature of work and heat. Whenever a system changes from one state to another, it is accompanied by a change in energy. The change in energy may appear in the form of work, heat, and light. Work is mode of energy transfer to or from a system with reference to the surrounding. It appears only during a change of state of the system and not when the system is in equilibrium. If an object is displaced through a distance dx against a force F, when the amount of work done, then the amount of work done is defined as W is equal to F into dx. There are many types of work and all of them could be expressed as product of two factors, intensity factors and capacity factors. Now work, some of these are here. First, gravitational work. If a body is moved through a certain height against force of gravity, the work is done and it is set to gravitational work. It is numerically equal to mgh. M is the mass of the body, g acceleration due to gravity, and h is equal to height moved. Here mg is the intensity factor and h is capacity factor. Now, electrical work is said to be done when a charged body is moved from one potential region to another. If the change is expressed in coulombs and potential difference is volt, then the electrical work is given by QV. Potential difference is the intensity factor and the quantity of electricity is the capacity factor. Now, electrical work is equal to volt into coulomb. Excuse me. Hello. The third type of work is mechanical work. Now, work associated with the change in volume of system against an external pressure is referred to as the mechanical or pressure volume work. Now consider a gas contained cylinder fitted with a frictionless piston. The pressure of the gas exerts a force on the piston. This can be balanced by applying an equal and opposite pressure from outside on the piston. This termed as external pressure Px and Px and not the pressure of the gas is used in evaluating work. Either there is expansion or contraction of the gas. Let the gas expand through a distance L. Then the work is equal to force is equal to distance and ये हो जाएगा P into A into L. Since A into L is equal to volume, that is dV, so work is equal to P into dV. और P dV क्या है V2 minus V1 यानी where V2 and V1 are the volumes in the final and initial state of the system. The constant external pressure is the intensity factor and the volume change is the capacity factor. The symbol of work is W. It is a path dependent quantity and manifestation of energy. The work done on the system increases the energy of the system and work done by the system decreases the energy of the system. On this basis, the given convention is adopted as work done on the system, then W is equal to positive, and work done by the system, W is equal to negative. तो इसको ध्यान रखना है, सारी फंडामेंटल चीजें हैं,
थर्मोडायनेमिक्स के बारे में। इस थर्मोडायनेमिक्स समझने के लिए ये सारे जो डिस्कस हो रहे हैं, जो टर्म्स डिस्कस हो रहे हैं, ये याद होना या मालूम होना जरूरी है। नाउ यूनिट्स ऑफ वर्क। In CGS system, unit of work is arc. It is defined as the work done when a resistance of one dyne is moved through a distance of 1 centimeter. Arc is very small, thus a bigger unit, the joule or kilojoule, is used these days. 1 joule is equal to 10 to the power minus 7 arc, and 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joule. Now, heat may be defined as the quantity of energy which flows between system and surrounding on account of temperature difference. It always flows from a point of higher temperature to a point of lower temperature. It is equal to the m into s into T, where m is the mass of substance, s is the specific heat, and T the temperature difference. The symbol of heat is Q. It is a path-dependent quantity and manifestation of energy. When heat flows into the system, its energy increases, and when heat flows out of the system, its energy decreases. Thus, the sign convention, when heat flows into the system, that Q is represented as Q plus, and when heat flows out of the system, then it is minus. Q is equal to in minus. Now, units of heat. The unit of heat is calorie. It is defined as the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade. Since heat and work are interrelated, SI unit of heat is the joule. 1 joule is equal to 0.2390 calorie. And 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joule. 1 kilocalorie is equal to 4.184 kilojoule. 1 liter atmosphere is equal to 101.3 joule is equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power minus 9 earth is equal to 24.206 calorie. Now, simple example is given here. A gas expands by 0.5 liter against a constant pressure of 1 atmosphere. Calculate the work done in joule and calories. The work is equal to my work done by the system is P into V. That volume change -1 into 0.5 हो जाएगा. वर्क डन ऑन द सिस्टम हो रहा है, हो जाएगा माइनस में -0.5 दोनों इसकी वैल्यू हमने यहाँ रखा तो आ गया 0.5 इंटू वैल्यूम चेंज 101.13 जूल में यहाँ कन्वर्ट हो रहा है. ये तुम्हारा रख दिया गया यहाँ पे. ये कितना है? वॉल्यूम चेंज है और ये क्या है? प्रेशर है, 1 एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर. तो ये आया -0.5 लीटर एटमॉस्फेयर. अब इसको हमें ये जूल में कन्वर्ट करना है. लीटर यहाँ पे जो अभी दिखाया फॉर्मूला उससे लीटर एटमॉस्फेयर में आया है ये. तो इसको हम मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो ये जूल में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा 50.664 जूल. 0.5 लीटर एटमॉस्फेयर इज इक्वल टू -0.5. जब कैलोरी में चेंज करना है तो 24.26 कैलोरी से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो ये कैलोरी में आंसर आ जाएगा. Now, second example, 1 mole of an ideal gas is put through a series of changes as shown in the graph. Which ABC mark the 3 stages of the system. At each stage, the variables are shown. Calculate the pressure at the 3 stages of the system. पहली चीज pressure निकालना है at the 3 stages of the system. And name the process during the following change: A to B, B to C, and C to A, and overall change. तो ये सिस्टम यहाँ पे ये डायग्राम दिया हुआ है. वॉल्यूम वे V और इधर छोटा इसको कर देते हैं तो इधर वॉल्यूम V है, उधर टेम्परेचर V. सिस्टम A से B में जा रहा है, B से C में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है, फिर A में हो रहा है। यहाँ C पे टेम्परेचर 300 केल्विन, A में भी टेम्परेचर होता है। वॉल्यूम चेंज हो रहा है, 12 से 24 हो गया। यहाँ पे 600 टेम्परेचर है, B पॉइंट में चेंज हो रहा है 300, और इधर जब A से B में आ रहा है तो टेम्परेचर चेंज 3 to 600 हो रहा है। ये सारी चीजें हमें कंसीडर करते हुए आंसर निकालना है। एट स्टेज ए पे क्या है, इसका टेम्परेचर है ए पे 300 केल्विन, वॉल्यूम है 34.0, और ए से ये बी में जाता है तो 300 टेम्परेचर पड़ता है। तो एट स्टेज ए क्या हो रहा है, P is equal to and T is equal to this, N is equal to 1, R की वैल्यू होती है, ये गैस कांस्टेंट में पड़ा है, R is equal to this, then substituting these values in the ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT, we get P is equal to 1.026, सारी वैल्यूज हम रखेंगे जो ऊपर अभी यहाँ पे दिखाया, उसे रखने पे कितना आ जाएगा 1.026। Now at stage B, volume remains the same, but temperature changes from 300 to 600. Thus, according to pressure law, the pressure will be doubled at E with respect to pressure B is equal to double हो जाएगा यहाँ. At stage C, temperature is 300 and volume is half that of stage A. Thus, according to Boyle's law, pressure at C will be doubled with respect to A. The pressure at C is equal to this, 2 into 1.026. Now, during the change from A to B, volume remains constant. The process is isophoric. चारों तरह के सिस्टम बताए हैं. Now, during the change from B to C, the pressure remains constant. The pressure is isobaric. During the change from C to A, the temperature remains constant. The process is isothermal. तो इन पॉइंट्स को पढ़ने से पहले जब वो अभी दिखाया तो उसको अपनी कॉपी पे ड्रॉ करो डायग्राम को, और ये जो सारे चीजें जो इसमें यहाँ पे देख रहे हो वो चीजें तुम्हें सेम दिखाई दे रही है. Now, during the change from C to A, the temperature remains constant. एक ही temperature पे है C और A. Then constant, the process is isothermal. Overall process is cyclic as it returns to final state. Now, internal energy. Every system having some quantity of matter is associated with a definite amount of energy. This energy is known as internal energy. The exact value of this energy is not known as it includes all types of energies of molecules constituting the given mass of matter, such as translational, vibrational, rotational, the kinetic and potential energy of the nuclei and electrons within the individual molecules, and the manner in which the molecules are linked together, etc. The internal energy is generated by U. Then the U is equal to U translational plus U rotational plus U vibrational plus U bonding plus U electronic. Now, accurate measurement of some form of energy which contribute to the absolute value of internal energy for the substance in a given state is impossible. But one thing is certain, that the internal energy of a particular system is a definite quantity at a given moment, irrespective of manner by which it has been obtained. Internal energy like temperature, pressure, volume is a state function that is total of all possible kinds of energy of a system is called its internal energy. It is neither possible nor necessary to calculate the absolute value of internal energy of the system. In thermodynamics, one is concerned only with energy change which occurs when the system moves from one state to another. Let delta U be the difference of the energy of initial state and the final state. Then delta U is equal to final state by energy of final state minus energy of initial state. Delta U is positive when delta F is greater than delta in, and negative if delta F is less than delta U is UF is less than U in. A system may transfer energy to or from the surrounding or heat or work or both. Now characteristics of internal energy. Internal energy of a system is as extensive property. Internal energy is a state property. The change in the internal energy does not depend on the path by which the final state is reached, and there is no change in internal energy in the cyclic process. Now, first law of thermodynamics. This law has been stated in various forms, but is merely the law of conservation of energy. First, energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be converted from one form to another. This is the first law of thermodynamics. The total energy of the universe is constant. Whenever a quantity of one kind of energy disappears, an exactly equivalent quantity of energy in some other form must appear. It is impossible to construct a perpetual motion machine which could produce work without consuming energy. The total energy of an isolated system remains constant through it may change from one form to another. तो ये डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स है, एक ही बात को कई बार कई तरह से बताया गया है फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स. मेन पॉइंट इज energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but it can be converted from one form to the another. When a system is changed from initial state to final state, it undergoes a change in the internal energy from Un to Uf. Thus, delta U can be written as delta U is equal to delta F minus U in. The change in internal energy can be brought about in two ways, either by allowing the heat to flow into the system, absorption or out of the system, that is evolution, by doing work on the system or the work done by the system. Now consider a system whose internal energy is U1. If the system is supplied Q amount of heat, the internal energy of the system will become U1 plus UL plus Q. Now, if work W is also done on the system, the final internal energy becomes U2, not L. This is कुछ हल्का आ रहा है, तो this is the U1 symbol ले सकते हैं, और L ले रहे हैं तो फिर 2 ना लेकर के L P कुछ ले सकते हैं. तो यहाँ पे U1 plus Q and work W is also done on the system. The final energy becomes U2. Thus U2 is equal to U1 plus Q plus W. Q क्या है? Heat है, और W work done. अब U2 minus U1 is equal to Q plus W. That is delta U. ये delta U हो जाएगा. Delta U is equal to Q plus W. This is the mathematical statement of the first law of thermodynamics. In this statement, Q is the heat absorbed and W is work done on the system. In case Q is the heat absorbed and W the work done by the system. इसमें क्या है, work done on the system, तो Q plus W है. When work done by the system, then the relationship becomes delta U is equal to Q plus minus W, that is Q minus W. तो वर्क डन ऑन द सिस्टम के लिए डेल्टा U इज इक्वल टू Q प्लस W, एंड वर्क डन बाय द सिस्टम के लिए हो जाएगा डेल्टा U इज इक्वल टू Q माइनस W. The first law of thermodynamics may also be stated as the net energy change of the closed system is equal to heat absorbed plus the work done on the system, or the net energy change of a closed system is equal to heat absorbed minus the work done by the system. Now, example, if 500 calories of heat energy are added to a system and the system does 350 calories of work on the surrounding, what is the energy change of the system? Now, heat absorbed K is equal to 500 calories. Work done by the system is equal to by system minus 350 calories. And applying the first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus 2 work. तो हो जाएगा ये माइनस बाय द सिस्टम, वर्क डन बाय द सिस्टम है, तो ये हो जाएगा 150, माइनस हो जाएगा ये 150 कैलोरी. If 100 calories of heat are added to the same system as in example first, and a work of 50 calories is done on the system, calculate the energy change of the system. The heat absorbed K is equal to 100. Work done on the system W is equal to plus 50 हो जाएगा. Applying the first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q plus W is equal to 150 calories. In the above two examples, the final state is same, but the path adopted are different. Thus, the change in energy of the system depend on the initial and final state, but does not depend on the path by which the final state has reached. Q and W are therefore not a state function, but delta U is a state function. Now, some useful conclusion drawn from the first law. Delta U is equal to Q plus W. When a system undergoes a change, delta U is equal to 0. That is, there is no increase or decrease in the internal energy of the system. The first law of thermodynamics reduced to 0 is equal to Q plus W, that is Q is equal to minus W. Heat absorbed from surrounding is equal to work done by the system is equal to W is equal to minus Q. Heat given to surrounding is equal to work done on the system. If no work is done, then the first law reduced to delta U is equal to Q. That is, increase in internal energy of the system is equal to the heat absorbed by the system, or decrease in internal energy of the system is equal to heat lost by the system. If there is no change of heat between the system and the surrounding, delta Q is equal to 0. The first law reduced to delta Q is equal to W. It shows if work is done on the system, its internal energy will increase, or if the work is done by the system, its internal energy will decrease. This occurs in an adiabatic process. In case of gaseous system, if a gas expands against a constant external pressure, P, let the volume change be delta V. The mechanical work done by the gas is equal to minus P into delta V. Substituting this value in delta U is equal to Q plus W. That is, delta U is equal to Q minus P into W. When delta V is equal to 0, then delta U is equal to Q or QV. The symbol QV indicates the heat change at constant value. Now see the example. A gas contained in a cylinder fitted with a frictionless piston expands again a constant pressure, 1 atmosphere, from a volume of 4 liters to a volume of 14 liter. In doing so, it absorbed 800 joule thermal energy from surrounding. Determine delta U for the process. Given Q is equal to 100 volt and volume change is 14.4 to 10. Now W is equal to minus P into delta V. This is minus 10 liter. This is converted into 0.082 liter atmosphere is equal to 1.987 calorie. Then this is so W is equal to values रखने पे 240 minus 242.3 calorie. Now 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joule. Then W is equal to मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे इसको तो इतने जूल में आएगा. Substituting the value in equation, delta U is equal to Q plus W. Now 800 minus में है ये तो हो जाएगा minus हो जाएगा minus 213.7 joule. It is to be noted that it is now known that energy and the mass are interconvertible. The two quantities are related by the expression E is equal to mc square, where E is the energy, mass is m is the mass, and c is the velocity of light. Thus, the modified form of first law of thermodynamics states that total mass and energy of an isolated system remains unchanged. Now, enthalpy or heat content. Enthalpy thermodynamic term है या इसको क्या कहते हैं heat content. Constant pressure processes are common in chemistry, as most of the reactions are carried out in open vessels. Consider the system whose volume increases from V1 to V2 against a constant pressure P. The work done by the system will be W is equal to minus E into V2 minus V1. Applying the first law of thermodynamics, delta U is equal to Q minus delta U is equal to Q minus P V2 minus V1. अब ये डेल्टा U क्या है V2 minus V1 फाइनल एंड इनिशियल स्टेट एंड Q is equal to P V2 minus V1. इसको हम इस तरह से भी लिख सकते हैं. Now it is equal to Q. The quantity U plus PV is known as enthalpy or heat content of the system and is denoted by H. It represents the total energy stored of the system. Enthalpy represents the total energy stored in the system. That is, H is equal to U plus PV. Considering equation 1, U2 plus PV2 इसको हमने H2 लिया, U1 plus P1 H1, तो ये H2 minus H1 is equal to Q. और ये डिफरेंस हो जाएगा डेल्टा H. Using above conclusion, H2 minus H1 is equal to Q. That is delta H is equal to Q. Again, considering U2 plus PV2 minus U1 plus PV1 is equal to Q. इसको और सिंप्लीफाई करने पे इस तरह से ले आए तो ये हो जाएगा डेल्टा U plus P delta V is equal to Q. When delta V is equal to 0, then delta U is equal to Q या Q V से लिख सकते हैं इसको. Thus, from equation second and third, delta U plus P delta V is equal to delta H is equal to Q P. Here, delta V is the increase in volume, and the symbol QP indicates the heat change at constant pressure. The difference in delta H and delta U is not significant for solid and liquid, but is significant when gases are involved. If V is the total volume of the reactants and P2 is the total volume of the product, at constant pressure P and constant temperature T. Then applying gas equation P is equal to nRT. For reactants, PV1 is equal to N1RT. N1 is the total number of mole of reactant. For the product, PV2 is equal to N2R2, where N2 total number of mole of product. Thus, PV2 minus P1 is equal to N2RT minus N2N1RT. कॉमन एक तरफ कर लेंगे P V2 minus V1 and RT N2 minus 1. Then P delta V is equal to delta N RT. Now putting the value in equation 4, delta U is equal to delta U plus delta nRT is equal to delta H, and QU is equal to QP is equal to QV plus delta nRT. Here is the example. The diagram shows a PV graph of a thermodynamic behavior of an ideal gas. Find out from this graph work done in the process A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A. Work done in complete cycle A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A. The work done in the process A to B, the process is expansion and work is done. इस तरह से ये डायग्राम पहले देख लेते हैं. V लीटर में दिया है, इधर P न्यूटन टू द पावर 5 न्यूटन पर मीटर में, और इस तरह से ये A से B में जा रहा है, B से C में, C से D में. तो यहाँ क्या चेंजेस हो रहे हैं ये वैल्यू में. जब ये A से B में गया तो इसका वॉल्यूम 1 से 6 हो गया. B से C में आया तो वॉल्यूम कांस्टेंट है. फिर C से D में गया तो वॉल्यूम कम हो रहा है, 6 से 1 पहुंच गया. फिर यहाँ वॉल्यूम कांस्टेंट है और A में पहुंच रहा है, और इधर क्या है, प्रेशर है. तो अब इस पे हम कंक्लूजन लेंगे. वर्क डन इन द process A to B, the process is expansion, hence work is done by P into minus P into dV is minus 6000 joule. दूसरी पोजीशन क्या है, वर्क डन इन प्रोसेस B to C, ये आ रहा है C में, is 0 as volume remains constant. Work done in the process C to D, the process is contraction, यानी वापस जा रहा है, यानी वॉल्यूम कम होता जा रहा है, hence work is done on the gas. तो ये हो जाएगा P into dV, ये प्लस में होगा तो ये हो जाएगा वैल्यूज रखने पे 1000 जूल. Work done in process D to A is 0 as volume remains constant. Net work done in the whole system minus 6000 plus 1000 is equal to minus 5000 joule. That is net work is done by the gas. Another example, calculate the work done when 1 mole of water at 373 Kelvin vaporizes against an atmospheric pressure of 1 atmosphere. Assume ideal gas behavior. The volume occupied by water is very small, and thus the volume change is equal to the volume occupied by 1 gram mole of water vapor. Now V is equal to nRT upon P. सारी वैल्यूज मालूम है हमें, R की मालूम होती है, तो यह जगह 31.0 लीटर. Now W is equal to minus P external into delta V. एक्सटर्नल प्रेशर है 1 और डेल्टा V की वैल्यू रखती है, तो हमें फाइनल वर्क मालूम हो जाएगा. तो इस तरह से ये फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स अभी हमने आज के क्लास में डिस्कस किया. इसमें सारे थर्मोडायनेमिक्स में जितने टर्म्स यूज होते हैं, जनरली प्रोसेस क्या होता है, उसके अलावा फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स ये भी इस आज की क्लास में इंक्लूड है. तो ये सारी चीजें मेरे ख्याल से थर्मोडायनेमिक्स समझने के लिए अब काफी होगी. जब हम आगे बढ़ेंगे अगले लेक्चर में, तो आज इतनी चीजें जो हैं इसको ठीक से आप लोग ध्यान से एक बार फिर इस वीडियो को अभी देखा होगा, उसके बाद फिर देखें ताकि सारी चीजें क्लियर हो.